Hey, hello everyone and welcome. I haven't done one of these in a while, a narrated video of my gameplay, but this was a special game, so I figured we should give it a try. As you can see, clearly we've been given a short end of the stick by the matchmaker. We have only 1 through 10, the enemy team has 2, and also, as most people sometimes groan, we also have a T-95 that immediately refused to go hill, but to his credit, and this will show up later, to his credit he actually did commit to the hill, and I think this is admirable by most T-95 players. We know you're gonna get there late, but please do follow up with the entire team, because a T-95 is a force to be reckoned with. So as you can see, we're just kind of starting to engage the enemy. The ST-1 is head-to-head with our 140, and they're both in a serious hold down position, and so that means that it just depends on the skill. And then we also see the I-7 popping up and really trying to engage the 140, and things are not looking too good at this moment. Our 140, our only hope, is taking a lot of damage. He's in a position where he is now exposed to multiple enemies at the same time. He doesn't have a lot of room to maneuver. He's also engaging 2 Waffenträgers at the same time. I managed to put in a shell into I-7's ammo rack. As you can see, the hit skins are not always accurate, and if you know it's a weak spot, you can always give it a shot, and sometimes you'll actually get through, just like in that case. So in this case, we're just trying to kind of get as many shots into the enemies as we can. Our Leo decided to distract the enemies, and this was a crucial turning point because they all turned away from 140 and started to engage him. You see the Waffenträger somehow magically bounces on me, so this is a Russian bias at play. I'm really trying to help the 140, but at the same time, this is a slow tank, so it's slow to react, and 140 decides to, I don't know what he was hoping for. He was hoping to circle them to death, but I also see that our T-95 is being an active T-95 and doing the one thing that T-95 is really good at, which is driving at enemies and putting shells into them. Because a T-95 that just slowly advancing at you is a very scary proposition because there's nothing you can do to it up front. Especially when it's moving, you can't exactly snipe the weak points, the few weak points that it has. At this point, the game is kind of turning sour. Our flankers, the ones that did distract the enemies and pull them away from this flank, are starting to die out. We have some ragers, and I also encountered a 704 that puts a round in my butt and sets me on fire, so he did a lot of damage to me. So at this point I decide to just do as much damage as I can, so the game is probably lost. But then I see Waffenträger bounce gold on me, so I think he just aimed really poorly at my most angled hull. As well as I-7 also bounced really poorly, as well as another Waffenträger bounced. So I think I wasn't exactly aiming to bounce all of them, but I guess the position of it was such that maximized my hull armor. And also I guess the poor aiming didn't help. So now it's just me and T-95, and T-95 is doing what he's supposed to be doing, literally facing enemies and waiting, letting them come to us. I remember that 100 health Waffenträger went to the right, so I know I have to kill it. And then it seems like I-7 bounced off my butt, which is really funny. I take a shot of opportunity to take away the 704 that caused me so much pain before. I see the I-7 is flanking the T-95 as he's supposed to. T-95 is reacting, and now I spot finally the Waffenträger, and I take the shot, but lag, I don't know what happened there. That should have been it, but I guess it was just a poor shot. But I know I have to take down this Waffenträger. It's spotting us, it's a lot of damage potential. And then I get caught in the open, and at this point I thought this is it, this is my ticket. But just in case, I load HE and fire straight into his shell. And then he bounces on me because I did actually was hoping that he would bounce, because I did angle my hull properly. And then we're using adrenaline and 2 HE shells. I finished the last Waffentrager off, and it seems like we suddenly have the upper hand. At this point, I try to maneuver my slow hull, get as many shells into ice sound as possible. I do take a shot from him, but at this point he's on the he's cornered. Ice sound is not exactly a tank that does well when engaged by multiple enemies. So my goal is just to put in one more shell into him to make him one-shottable for the T-95. Load heat, and then he turns to engage me, and T-95 finishes the job. So as you can see, despite the game and despite the odds being against us, I think you cannot account and you cannot always count yourself out. The enemy team can always be really bad, like this was in this case. They could always bounce shots, and you should always conserve your health up until the last part of the game, the last third of the game. So conserve your health, because you never know when it comes handy, and also protect and use your T-95. So in this case, our T-95 driver was really good. He drove at enemies. He never was passive, which is what T-95 is supposed to do. It's just a Doom Turtle that slowly inches towards you, and there's nothing the enemies can do. So if T-95 plays correctly, use it to your advantage, get behind it, use the resource, and you'll do well. Thank you for watching. See you next time.